Used to be dead down. House like jet now. We don't play radio. Don't master flicks now.
What is good, y'all? It's your boy CrayG, and welcome back to another Need for Speed Heat video. In today's video, I got a few things that I want to go over as far as what I think will make drifting in Need for Speed Heat a lot better and what will make the drifting experience a lot better in Need for Speed Heat. Before we get into that, man, I just want to say thank you guys all for the birthday wishes, man. I had a dope birthday. It was cool. You guys turned up for me on stream, man, and I really appreciate that. Make sure you guys drop a like and hit that sub button if you've been enjoying the content on the channel. Now let's get into the video. So the first thing I'm going to get into is obviously when one thinks drifting in Need for Speed Heat, they go straight to performance, the performance setup, you know what I mean? Because this makes all of the difference when you're drifting. Now the fact that using speed cross parts and drag tires and stuff like that to be able to drift better in the game, I think it's pretty ass backwards. Essentially, if you put on drift parts, you should drift, and that's pretty much it. Yeah, you can probably mix and match different tiers of drift parts, but drift parts are drift parts. They're supposed to be for drifting, whether you're using, like I said, sport, pro, super, or elite. Drift parts should be for drifting, not drag tires or speed cross suspension or anything like that. I feel like if they have drift suspension in the game, it should be for drifting. They have showcase, which is a combination of drift and on-road. They should work for drifting. So you do kind of have to play with it a little bit to find the right setup, but ultimately I feel like if you throw on drift parts, they should work perfectly and you should be able to drift. That's just my analysis. I don't know if they've caught on to the buzz in the community around drifting and around the opposite pieces that you have to use to be able to drift in the game successfully, but hopefully they catch wind of it and they make some changes, because I know a lot of people have been upset or have just been kind of irritated with trying to find the right drift setup because the parts that you have to use are kind of ass backwards. That's honestly like the main thing that I wanted to mention before we got to all the other things, because it's like the core of drifting in the game, you know what I mean? Performance makes all the difference. Another thing that I wanted to get into when it comes to drifting in Need for Speed Heat is the live tune menu. Now in Need for Speed 2015, they gave us the ability to be able to tune the strength of our e-brake, right? So we can soften the e-brake or harden the e-brake a little bit to help with, you know, transitioning easier with the e-brake. That setting in Need for Speed Heat is just completely gone. You have your steering sensitivity and your downforce, your traction control, which obviously you want to have off if you're drifting, and then your drift style, gas or brake. So you can choose to go back to brake to drift, or you can use gas to drift, which I've honestly had more success with using gas to drift. But anyways, bring back the ability for us to tune the e-brake, because I notice a lot, and this will tie into my next point as well. When I'm trying to transition, it's kind of difficult. The car is kind of slow and clunky to transition, right? As you can see, you see those really slow transitions. I have to kind of, you know, manage the throttle a little bit, let go of the throttle completely to be able to really get a transition. I feel like I shouldn't have to do this, you know what I mean? And like I said, this is what brings me into my next point. So if you're playing on manual, right? If you're playing the game on manual, if you drift on manual, you will notice that if you're going from a wide corner to a really tight corner, and you need to transition quickly and downshift into the other corner because you have too much speed going into that corner. So let's say I'm hitting this corner and then I hit a real tight corner and I e-brake to transition and I want to downshift. As I'm holding the X button to e-brake to use my transition, hopefully you guys can see this. As I'm hitting the X button to e-brake for my transition, the game will not let me downshift at all. So your shifting essentially gets locked whenever you touch the e-brake, and I think that makes for really clunky transitions, and it makes it difficult to transition into tighter corners from wider corners, because you have to e-brake to transition, let off the gas, pretty much let your car straighten all the way out, downshift after that because there's like a little delay, downshift, and then gas to drift again to kick your car back out, which is, you know, more so of a clutch kick rather than gassing to drift. But I feel like those are so many more steps that can be avoided if you just take away the delay from downshifting while we're using the e-brake. I'm not sure why that was implemented in the game. I don't know why it's there. It honestly makes things a lot more difficult when it comes to linking turns cleanly and actually doing a whole track, linking every turn without straightening out at all. It's just pretty much impossible in the game. Okay guys, so I actually came into an online lobby because I wanted to show you Another thing, one of the actually main things that I think was neglected when it comes to drifting in Need for Speed Heat. Of course, we all like to drift with our friends. You know, we like to get our friends all in the lobby, tandem through the mountains and drift through the streets and just, you know, have crazy fun, because that's really what drifting's about. It's about having fun, and you know what I'm saying? We want to drift with our friends because it's a good time. So I drove over here to this drift race because I want to show you guys something that is a problem when it comes to drift races and being in online servers. Now, I'm just gonna pause for a second and see if you guys can notice it. Do you see it? Comment down below if you notice it. I mean, I'm gonna tell you anyway. There's no option for us to drift or do drift events with friends or even with people in the lobby at all. And that goes for daytime drift races and nighttime drift races. Every other race in the game allows you to challenge either the friends you brought in your party into the lobby or challenge the whole lobby, except for drift races. Every drift race you literally have to do by yourself. And I don't understand that. Why would you not give us the ability to do these drift races with our friends or with people in the lobby? Yes, there may be some crashing involved. Yes, there may be some irritation, but it makes the game a lot funner. Free roam drifting is cool, you know, that's fine, but maybe sometimes we might want to do a drift event and then all our friends, or me and one friend, are drifting back and forth going at it, and we want to see who gets the better score. You know what I'm saying? Maybe we want to do stuff like that. I just don't understand why they wouldn't implement that in the game. Now in Payback, they did have a drift race in the competitive game mode where it's like probably 8 people and you guys are all drifting down to the bottom of the track. But as you're drifting, the person who is in front has like the highest multiplier, and then from that point on down to second place, third place, fourth place, there's lower multipliers, where usually the person in front usually got the most points. They crash through people to get to the front, and then that's just it from there. They gain the most points because they have the highest multiplier, and that was pretty much it. I feel like they should add something like that in Need for Speed Heat, but without the multiplier. Not a race where you being in first means that you win, but everyone gets an equal chance to get as much points as they can on that track to win, you know what I mean? And you have like a time limit where you have to get to the bottom and stuff like that. I think that would just make for, you know, a funner experience when drifting in the game, and I feel like it'll keep a lot of people on the game because there's not much to do at the moment. Yeah, we beat the game kind of fast. You know, I beat the game kind of fast. I've gone through a lot of stuff in the game pretty fast, and it's drying up a little bit. I'm still finding fun things to do every day. I still hop on this game every day, playing with subscribers, playing with followers, you know what I mean? And we have a ball, but I just wish they added more when it came to drifting, or drifting got a little bit more love. And I mean, that's pretty much all, ladies and gentlemen. I know this video is pretty quick, but if you guys enjoyed it and if you guys think the same things that I think, comment down below and let me know, man. Make sure you hit the like on this video and subscribe if you enjoyed. Seriously though, comment down below you guys' thoughts on this, man. Put some of your suggestions down in the comment section to let me know what you guys think will make drifting a little bit better in Need for Speed Heat. I appreciate you guys for watching the video. I'll catch y'all in the next one. Deuces.